All right, here we go. So I feel like things are going really well. I'm loving all the vision calls. You guys are probably less overwhelmed than I am. Like, you're probably already doing everything I'm gonna talk about right now, and it's just because like I've been talking to everybody. I'm like, oh my gosh, do they know what to do with all of this activity? But I know that I feel like we're really generating so much interest, so much activity, so much hope. I'm loving it. I love this process. I love this piece of Isagenix where we're seeing all of these people so excited. And it's really hard for me to put my finger on. I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to say, oh, this is what made everyone get so excited. I'm not positive. But they are, which is great. And so what I want to do is talk to you just a little bit about after the vision call. So yesterday we talked about going through the vision call. I know you're listening to those. I know you're learning about those. I do want to make kind of a little bit, before we go into this, I kind of want to make sure that I'm communicating or dividing this a little bit. So you know specifically what I'm talking about, because you guys are in different places. Some of you, we're actually working on tightening up your own executive. And then some of you, we are working on going in and developing executives on your team. And some of you we're doing both with. And so know that when you're working on your own executive chart, what we're really looking at is just getting 10 people who get 2. And then looking at who are you going to develop to executive. So you want to make sure that your own executive, that you're staying focused on that. If that's either not tight, or if you need to rebuild it a little bit, you want to make sure that your eyes are locked on that. So yeah, we're talking to people, we're moving them up, but your own executive is super, super important. So I know I don't want to be redundant over and over and drive that into the ground, but it's so important that if we're working with your team members, okay, hold on, you guys, come on. Sorry. So that you kind of keep that in your mind. Now, let's say that we've done the vision call with your person, that your associate that you're wanting to move up, or maybe it was a new prospect. Either way, they're now in your tree and they're like, all right, ready, set, what do I do? And I know that a lot of times on the vision call, we're saying to them, okay, you want to get out that executive chart, put in your 10 builders. But what I really want you to understand is that you're going to have to take some responsibility, a lot of responsibility for that, of actually getting them to sit down and make that happen. And so once that vision call is done, what you've got to do now is they've got this vision, they're excited, they heard it, and now they've got to call those people, but suddenly they're like, I don't know, when I was little, I used to watch the Brady Bunch, and Sydney Brady, like, they asked her a question, she started staring at that light like, oh, and she couldn't remember what to say. That's what they're like. They're like, oh, wait a minute, because now all of a sudden it all sounded great and fine, but now they're having to call these hard names, and there's lumps in their throat, and they're like in the bathroom thinking, what did I get myself into? And so you've got to really realize that as human beings, that there's something about that power of resistance, and when you come beside them, you can really help them to get it done. And I think that I love leadership development. That's what you're doing. I mean, we read about it in books, but there's a big difference between reading about it in books and then actually digging in with that person. So I want to remind you of this. Number one, that your job, what you're trying to do literally is work your way out of your job. And so you're duplicating yourself, teaching your skills and your knowledge to other people. You finished your own executive, you got it done. That is amazing. And so now what you're doing is you're helping other people do the same thing. And so you've got to teach them how to think how you think, how to talk how you talk, how to follow up how you follow up, how to close how you close. And so you're really duplicating yourself off onto them. It's the mentorship. So many people want to have a large duplicated team without mentoring, meaning that they just think, okay, well, I'm going to send this person the video and the best people are going to get it. Yeah. If you are lucky enough that every single person on your team is a high D dominant personality, they're all going to do it on their own. But I mean, Dr. Stevie just taught about this at our Super Saturday. There's only like 7% of society are high Ds. That means that most people, even if you're a D, you've got to realize that most people are going to need a little bit more help or guidance than what you had if you were a D. And you want that duplication, so you're working your way out of your job. So we're going to dig into this. At this time this morning, we're going to assume that every person that you picked is the right person, meaning that if you're working with them as a key person, that they're going to be the one that's going to make it all the way. You have to believe that. You have to work like that. Otherwise, you're never going to give them the energy that they would need to succeed. However, know that there's a chance that we may have to move some people in, take some people off. I know all of that might happen, and we're going to do that through the process. But right now, we're going to make the assumption that every single person that you've picked to move to executive is the right person. And so the vision call was booked. They're excited. They're on it. They're like, let's do it. They've probably pulled out that chart, and now they've got a lump in their throat. So that's what you're dealing with most people. So that chart's out. They got excited, and now they're like, I got to call these people. And so that's where you're going to come in. Most people need this. Coming into Isagenix, I had 13 years of network marketing experience. I had trained people. People development was my specialty. We had just got done with a church plant. We had grown from 300 to 1,000. And so I knew how to develop teams. I knew how to recruit. But I can tell you that the day that I wrote Bob Savernian on my paper to call, that I had a lump in my throat. And with the experience that I had and the background that I had coming into this, I was cleaning my house. I was baking a cake. I was cleaning toilets. I was doing all of these things that I don't typically do that I would hire done. And I was having the hugest amount of creative avoidance that you could ever even imagine. Hillary literally, she bugged me until I called Bob. I was so annoyed by her that I called Bob. I called Bob to get Hillary to shut up. But this is the deal. Had she not pressed on me like that, to this day, I know that I would have quit Isagenix. I would not have continued on because I was already getting exhausted. And so know that when you're going in with that person, don't feel like, oh, I'm doing their work for them. What's wrong with them? They're lazy. They're never going to get it. You know, I told them what to do and they said they wanted it and now they're not doing it. No. This is mentorship and this is hard stuff. Because when people are developing in life and they're moving up and they're working their way out, the power of resistance, what some authors call it, which I think is the power from the pit, is a real thing. I mean, that resistance will come against them to keep them from rising up, from moving up, from being able to lead and change their families and their lives. And so literally you're a freedom fighter. So when I'm on the phone with them, I don't ever get aggravated with them. I'm like, Satan, I will freaking take you out over this person because they're going to move up. If I have anything to do with it, they will win this. I mean, that's really like, I'm going to bat for them, if that makes sense. So when I get on that vision call, after that vision call, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to assume there's resistance in their life. It's the rare person that there would not be. And so the very next thing after that vision call is that same day or the next day, you want to get an individual one-on-one appointment with them. It cannot be a group appointment to save time. It can't be. Because if you can teach 5 people to really do what you do, and there's 5 of you out doing what you do, that there's gold in that. That's how you work your way out. That's not only how you work your way out of your job, that's how you lay on the beach and still bring in $150,000 and $200,000 worth of income doing nothing because you took the time to duplicate yourself. I know I say that over and over and over again, but I don't think there's enough of that taught sometimes in this company. Like, I think that we hear duplication, but for some reason we think duplication is sending everybody the same video all the time. It's really not. It's teaching people how to work like you work, think like you think, follow up like you follow up, close like you close, overcome like you overcome. And so you're going to get with that person, and what you're going to do is you're going to pull out their chart and you're going to say to them, okay, I want you to tell me who these 10 people are that you want for your business builders. Because that was the discussion that we had. If I did the vision call with them, the discussion was, who do you have that's well connected? Who do you know that you want to run with? Who do you know that you want to do life with? That's what's running through their veins. That's what's in their mind. That's what's going to take them to the next level. So we're not working with, when you're looking at this vision call and we've pulled these people out, we're not working with Matilda Ann that wants to lose 50 pounds. And if she happens to tell 2 people, she will. That's a whole nother discussion. We're working with real entrepreneurs that have said, I want to make waves in this world of network marketing. So you can't dumb down the conversation. You have to go back and look at who are those key people that you want to talk to? Who are those business builders? And you're going to get those down on that executive chart. They need to have one and you need to have one in front of you. You have to. I have 100% went to charts. I don't have it in my notebooks anymore because it just, I keep it on the charts, and I have that folder with my charts that goes everywhere with me. We have a boxing match this weekend. It's going to be there with me. If I go to a birthday party, it's in my car with me. It's with me all the time. So if at any given moment I find myself freed up with time, I have those. So you're going to have that chart in front of you, and then literally you're going to write down who are those 10 people. You're going to have it on your chart, and they're going to have it on their chart. You're going to pull it out of them. Then you're going to say to them, who does this person know? So if Tammy says, I'm going to talk to Robbie, you're like, okay, then who does Robbie know? Now you have that all down with them. And the next thing then is you're going to work them through making those calls. So when you're sitting down with them face to face, if they're within an hour-and-a-half radius of you, I would sit down with them. If they're not, you're going to do it over video chat. Once you're sitting down with them, you're going to go ahead and say to them, okay, let's call them. And you're going to work them through calling them. You're going to say to them, I want you to say, can I call you? I have a really interesting question to ask. You're going to tell that person to say that. And they're going to say that via text message while you're sitting with them on the Zoom. They're going to say it, say it, say it. Can I call you? Can I call you? Can I call you? The hardest part of overcoming resistance is to take action. If you don't do it with them and you say to them, okay, you can go ahead and call them, what you're going to find is what happened to me. Remember, Hillary said, call Bob. I was like, all right, I'll call Bob. And every time I would go to send the text to him, I would literally feel like I feel like I just ate a bottle of Isoflush. That's what would happen to me. And I wouldn't call him. And so you have to say to them, have him say, can I call you? And have them say, can I call you? Then whenever they call, every time probably you're going to have to tell them what to say. You cannot get frustrated. Because if you think about, okay, so the answer of a multiplication problem is called a product, all right? The product of network marketing is in the pattern. So you may find yourself saying over and over again the same thing to say to that person. Don't let that take you by surprise. Think back to your early days. If I was the one working with you, how many times I would tell you exactly what to say, and it was the same thing. It wasn't new, all right? And so you're going back to them and you're telling them what to say. So they said, can I call you? The person said, yes. So you're going to say to them, you're going to tell them, listen, I decided I'm going to build a large business with an organic company out of Phoenix. I have 10 leverage spots I really think could benefit you, and I want to share it with you. Would you just listen? So you're going to help them know what to say. You're going to talk about that posturing of what to say so that you're really helping that person get that business builder prospect on the phone, okay? So you're literally doing this with them. You can't like that. You could send them this video. You could go, okay, here's the video from Amy. She's telling you how to do it. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. That's not mentorship. That's thinking that the video created duplication. And so while I'm hanging out with my family, I can send the video and the video is going to work. It doesn't go like that. Doesn't go like that. No, does not go like that. You have to mentor them. You have to spend that time with them to teach them your inflection, your posturing, your energy. Now, the next thing is once they say they're going to listen, of course, you're going to be doing that business call with them. If you need me to do it with you and your key person, you know that I'll do that. If you feel any hesitancy at all and you're like, man, I just need a little bit more help with this, have me do it with you. I'll be glad to do it with you. And you watch, you take notes. I want to do that. Like, I'm willing to work day and night to get you duplicated, independent to 6 figures. I don't care, because I'm not in this because I want to be on the beach anymore. I'm in this because I freaking love the process of seeing people develop. So for me, it's a passion for me. So I'll do that with you. So get me on the phone and I'll help you go through that business call. If not, if you're going to do it on your own, when you do the business call, your energy has to be there. You have to be showing what it looks like. You have to show that Rita tree so that they understand the power of the binary compensation plan and the power of them coming in with a business builder. So you're going to really, really show that to them. So that's what it looks like after. So you have the vision call, then you're going to do the one-on-one call or the meetup with them. You're going to fill out their chart. You're going to coach them to say, can I call you? You're going to remind them every time when they call that person of what they say to that person to get them to listen. And then you're going to be doing that business call with them. When you're doing the business call, that person needs to be engaged with you watching, because you're duplicating yourself. So you're not doing it to recruit that person. You're doing it to teach your associate how to recruit business builders. So you're doing that. And then the other piece of this is you want to also make sure that your associate is not taking his or her hand off of that product side of it, because we're so product driven. But that's where these accountability groups are coming in. That's where, we're staying on that. We have Fat Slayers. It's product. We're teaching them curiosity posts. And then you also want to make sure that key person, have they done 10 product calls with you? So let me kind of break that down just a second. So we're finishing Angel's executive up. And so right now I'm doing vision calls with her. We're then together doing the business builder calls with her people that want to do that. But at the same time, I'm making sure that she's using the product. She's staying focused on the product. She's promoting it. She knows how to answer questions. She's in, fit, happy, healthy. So it's not like all of a sudden I moved over to this business side. It's like keeping both balls in the air with this key person. Now, is it a lot of work? Yeah, but that's why you can really only have 2 to 5 key people at a time. You can't really work with more than that. If you're working with more than that, it's too much. And really for me, it's a lot easier for me to work with really probably about 3 to 4 at a time, even than 5, because I have a hard time staying caught up. Okay, I feel like that was a lot of information, and I hope it even made sense. So do you guys have any questions? It's clear as mud.
Yeah, I'm good to go for sure.
Okay. All right. Mallory, do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question. I was just going to let you know I'm still here.
Okay.
Just doing chicken stuff and didn't want to be distracting.
All right. Perfect. So you guys got that? Does that help? Like help you see like your role in that? Your role of they will not do it. If you don't take that role, they won't do it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Bonnie. Okay.
Yes.
So really quickly. I'm not going to say a name or anything like that, but I know that you have an individual on your team right now that had been in Isagenix prior for a couple of years, and they never experienced this type of mentorship. So share like what the difference is, what they're saying to you, what the feedback, what's going on with that.
Well, as I guess, it's coming out of their comfort zone and really stepping up to, getting that, I guess, support that was never given before. And when you make yourself duplicatable, they really catch on, fast. And if you're consistent and just really put the systems, when you have systems in place, it really works. So I think it motivates them more. And this particular individual is moving faster than, being on the other, being where he was 2 years ago. So as far as I go.
So Bonnie, somebody said to you, you were like this person, they enrolled 330 days this week. They're
Yes.
really getting close to hitting director after just a couple of months, headed for executive, and you're still doing some three-way calls. Yesterday, you told me you did some three-way product calls.
Yes.
And you had an associate call you out on it. Say, when are you going to stop doing calls? But
So as far as like continuing to do calls for somebody, whatever works is going to work. And I know that person can do their own calls, but if it's in my hands, and if I have the opportunity to make that phone call, I'm going to do it, because I think more people can relate to whatever, I'm going to share to them than that particular person can relate, if that makes sense. Like, that person might not be able to relate to them because they never took the products while pregnant, or, they're a woman versus a man, or, like this. So you could sign, like, okay, so if you're a guy, it's easier for you to sign up guys, all day long, but sometimes you cannot relate to the stories, with another woman. We were on a call with this lady that just talked my ear off, and I don't think she would have talked, this associate's ear off like she did for me, and we really related with our stories. So I think you need to still continue to do the phone calls, especially if they have the passion and the vision to get to where you're at. I don't think there's a reason to just drop them and let them go on their own. As long as they're doing the work, play ball. That's what I want. I want people to play ball with me and do the work. So for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. And I think that there are two major light bulbs that went off in my mind, both from Herb Cepeda, both last June. And when I ever see him again, I'm going to tell him I feel like I owe my rank advancements to him. But he showed the power legs, which I had never seen in my life. I didn't know that you were supposed to build your builders together. So, of course, we made that change a long time ago. And then he said, never, ever turn down a three-way call unless you just can't. And I think that's in the back of my mind all the time. Like, sometimes someone will ask for a three-way call and I'll be super tired. And I'll say to Shane, you know what? Somebody did this for me. And I'm going to do it for this person. I'm going to do it because I know that it's in this last call. It's kind of like doing the last 5 setups when you want to die. And you're like, it's in this last call that I feel like it's showing God that, okay, I'm willing to go this extra mile to, you're giving me something to work with, because I don't think he's going to drop money from the sky, but I do think he's going to give me opportunity. And if I'm willing to go take that opportunity, I think it shows faith, because I'm showing my faith by doing that work. So doing that last call, getting on that, taking that call is really where it's at with your team. And then, there's something about that relationship you're building with them whenever you're willing to do that for them. So I hope that helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you need any more vision calls, let me know, whatever you need, and we'll get on it. Or if you're having problems, like once that vision call's in place and you're having problems, let me know. We're going to do some training on when to move on, because I know that you might have some people that you're working with that just aren't, like what Bonnie said, playing ball with you. And so I'm going to help you kind of determine some of that too. So hopefully
Well,
that,
just to show too, Amy, like the call we made last night with one of my new associates, she said within these 5 days, I've had more training and things, shown to me of how to work this business and be successful than the 2 years I was in the other company, her other company she was with. So,
absolutely.
it's a huge difference when you do have the systems in place and then you move them really fast. I mean, that's what we did before. It was always with a sense of urgency because they're excited and they're ready to make it happen. So,
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you need. Thank you. Have a great, great Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
yeah, talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.